Hello YouTube. Um, Lately I've been getting back into YouTube a bit and I've been watching a lot of videos, um, mainly Japanese vlogs, and something struck me about what I've been watching, and that is there's sort of two kinds of vlogs out there. I'm not speaking about particular um, vloggers who are different from each other. I'm talking about types of videos, specifically about studying Japanese, or the Japanese lesson ones. And so there seems to be quite advanced ones. You know, there's people with a very high level of Japanese, or who may be Japanese, who speak in Japanese in their videos. You know, and so that's quite a high level for people to learn from. And then there's ones with more simple lessons. You know, uh, like what Miss Hannah Minks does, or Boston Translation. You know, just some cool phrases or words, and you know, useful stuff. But that's still quite basic. And there's not that much in the middle, which is where I think I am sort of in skill. I'm conversationally fluent, badly. The really basic lessons aren't that useful to me. And some of the more advanced ones, some of it goes over my head. I don't know, but I was thinking about how I study Japanese now. I thought I could offer some advice to people who are at my level, who have lived in Japan, or are living in Japan, but still, you know, they're quite good, but not quite there. So I just want to talk a bit about what I do for myself to keep progressing with my Japanese level, post-Japan. So I've been back now for 8 months. Yeah, it'll be about 8 months. And I have made an effort to try and keep up my language skills, because this is what I want to do with my life. I want to live in Japan. I want to work in Japan. I love Japanese. So, what have I been doing to keep the ball rolling? The main thing, you know, there's only so much study you can do. Study is great. Study is important. But you've got to have real conversations with people. You know, you've got to have with native speakers, preferably, in Japanese. And I think that's the best thing, really, to keep up your spoken ability. Anyway, so what I've been doing in Melbourne is I just found it on the internet. Just found these groups. There's all these great language meetups in Melbourne. So I started going to these, and it's basically just people who study Japanese and Japanese people who want to get better at English. And you meet up at, well, some of them are more formal, at like a language school, and it costs just like a gold coin donation. And then there's other ones just at cafes, and you just hang out and you talk, and it's great. And I made a lot of friends through that who I now spend time with outside of that. So I'm hanging out with Japanese people quite a bit as well, and I think that's very important. Just to keep them more like real Japanese, not, you know, oh, I mean, it's all real Japanese, but, you know, spoken Japanese, the way people really talk. So I've been doing that, and aside from that, of course, I Skype with my girlfriend in Japan, and we do talk just in Japanese. Probably do that at least twice a week, and, you know, we talk for a good 2 or 3 hours, so that's a good workout for my Japanese. So yeah, that's one of the most important things, I think, is just have these connections where you're having real Japanese conversations. Then, of course, there's actual study, which is important as well. So I sort of accumulated a little pile of bits and pieces. I've got my Saint Young Men, which is about Jesus and Buddha living in downtown Tokyo. It's quite funny. I got the first One Piece and the first Naruto. And I also have this one, which I just got for Christmas, actually, which I haven't had a good look at yet, but it seems to be somehow linked to 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's got a lot of similarities in there, but it doesn't seem to actually be 2001: A Space Odyssey. I can't quite work it out. And also, this one's quite tricky to read because there's no furigana over the top of the kanji, so I have to look up a lot of kanji for this one because it doesn't have the readings. Darin wa gaikokujin. My darling is a foreigner. My girlfriend gave me that. Isn't that cute? And this one is actually in English and Japanese, so you can see there it's got both written there. Number 2, and this is just Japanese, so this is probably better for my Japanese than the other one. So yeah, there's those. There's also things because Melbourne's a fairly international city, so you see things around. I picked this up. It's just a magazine basically for Dengonnet, which is a website for Japanese people in Australia. You can check out the site, www.dengonnet.net. Yeah, it's dengonnet.net, strangely enough. It's all in Japanese, but it's kind of interesting. So there's that as well, for a bit of extra reading. Also, I do watch a lot of Japanese stuff on TV. Well, on my computer anyway, what I can get a hold of on DVD. Or just watch it online. A lot of people will say that don't watch it with subtitles. You know, if you want to do good, really work on your Japanese, don't watch with subtitles. And I agree with that. It probably is best to an extent. I still think you can get benefit with the subtitles. I think a bit of both is good. I do both. But when I do watch with subtitles, I do it quite actively. Like, I don't just sit back, read the subtitles. Sometimes it's very easy to slip into that, but I'll listen and I'll hear and I'll be like, oh, that's an interesting word, I don't know that word, and I'll actually pause and I'll look stuff up and even rewind and listen to it again, you know. So I still get a lot out of it even when I'm watching with subtitles, because sometimes I'll see a sentence and go, oh, that might be a useful thing to be able to say, and so I listen to the whole phrase that they're saying and try and learn that. So, like, I don't know, if I've got any advice for people who have got to quite a decent level of Japanese but aren't living in Japan, it's just stay active, you know, with Japanese. You don't have to be, like, sitting down and studying every night, you know. I really don't do it that way. I just will read a little bit of manga or whatever, and then, you know, I'm chatting to my friends as well, so find ways to make it sort of integrated into your daily life, because that's what happens when you live in Japan, and that makes it a lot easier than going, right, I'm going to study Japanese every day and get really good, which probably would work too, but I'm too lazy to bother really with that. So I hope this has been useful for you anyway. I think it's been useful for me to actually think about what I do and put it into words. So yeah, 皆さん頑張ってね。じゃあね。